Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Attention Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join up and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard. Guard the good life. Forget the lame excuse this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work for those 2 magical days in mid-March. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday, March 19th and 20th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday to get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it and stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. It's March Mayhem with 93.7 The Ticket for the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings on 68th and O.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Good news, LES customers. Even though their lobby at 2620 Fairfield Street closes July 31st, they've still got plenty of convenient ways to support you. Find your best options at les.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now at Koppel, we are offering big discounts on all of our inventory. 2026 GMC Terrains are leasing at $279 per month or buy for $27,690. 2026 Canyon is leasing for $269 or buy for $40,980. Also right now, all new Equinox EVs and all half-ton trucks are starting at $12,000 off MSRP. These are just a few examples of some of the aggressive pricing going on right now at Koppel. Please stop on in or check us out at koppelcars.com. All these with $2,500 down with a roof credit.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Fans, are you craving the ultimate game day experience? Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill has your front row seat to all the action. Dive into delicious wings, juicy burgers, and ice-cold drinks, all served up with TVs covering every inch of the wall, so you'll never miss a play. Rally your crew, cheer on your team, and take advantage of game night specials every week. Stop in for a Nebraska basketball game with a party of 4 or more and receive a free pitcher of beer. Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill, right by the Lincoln Airport at 3111 Northwest 12th Street.
When you or someone you know has been seriously injured and you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will fight for the justice you deserve in court to get the very best possible outcome. Trust the compassionate and hardworking attorneys at Liberty Law Group when you need an attorney in Nebraska or Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through. answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year's savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the 93.7 The Ticket Studios, located at 1040 O Street in the capital city, Lincoln, Nebraska. Nick Whyman here with you for a little bit over an hour. It'll give or take depending on when the Class C2 championship game tips off between Norfolk Catholic and Bergen Catholic as the halfway point in the day. We are on schedule, on time. Everything's moving. We've had 3 solid games so far. One was a 20-point win in D2. DC West, Ashland Greenwood, a little back and forth at the end, and then history for a Lincoln-based Class A team just happened moments ago at Pinnacle Bank Arena, a moment that is etched in history in Class A boys state basketball. It's crazy how big of a moment that is. We'll talk about it and whatnot. So we'll have a little short segment here. We'll send it to the break, and then we'll have a full hour before we send it back out to Pinnacle Bank Arena for 3 more games on tap here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. But before then, if you got some downtime, you just watched 3 basketball games and you're ready for 3 more. If you're watching college basketball, there's a lot of tickets being punched. UMBC being one of them so far, winning the America East Conference over Vermont. But until then, if you want to talk some sports, you got me for another extended hour here of Ticket Weekends with Nick Whyman. 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman Julius text line. That is 402-464-5685. Heard me this morning. We recapped, set the table for today's basketball action. Have some pretty good games, but there's also college basketball. It's the second to last day of conference tournament week. Plenty of basketball going on across the nation. It is March. Believe it or not, we are in the mid-March Selection Sunday in about a little over 24 hours, a day from now. Should be exciting. Should be an exciting time. Find out where Nebraska is going, St. Louis, Oklahoma City, depending. We'll see. We'll see in due time. Those are the 2 cities you'd like to see Nebraska go to just to have a nice fan base. I mean, Nebraska fans are going to travel or whatnot, but Oklahoma City, St. Louis are probably the logistics wise easiest for fans. If you have work or whatnot and you have a chance to go watch history with this Husker men's basketball team having a chance to make it to, or not even make it, but make it to the round of 32, but also win a game in the NCAA tournament, something they've never done in program history. I hate seeing that. It's annoying. At this rate, just get it over with and get it done. We'll talk about that and much more. Before we get into these high school games, I wanted to talk, just to recap real quick before we talk more in depth of those games. If you've been listening all morning, we saw D2, Archangels Catholic. Remember, it's not Arch. It looks like Arch, but it's Archangels Catholic winning the state title in Class D2 by a score of 50-30 over Elgin Pope John. That game went final this morning at 9 o'clock. Tip at Pinnacle Bank Arena. After that game, we saw the C1 take center stage as the 2 seed Ashland Greenwood finished the season with a 28-1 record as they won 3 games in 3 days to capture another basketball state title for the boys side, with Ashland Greenwood going over in a 42-39 defensive battle with DC West, Douglas County West in that one as well, as they were the 4 seed. 2 seed Ashland Greenwood claims a state title. And just now we saw the Class A state title, pretty historic game here as Lincoln Southwest was the 4th seed entering the state tournament, defeated Millard North, defeated Omaha West Side, and now capture a Class A state championship with a 57-53 win over Papillion La Vista South, the defending champion. They ran the gauntlet of the Omaha Metro and were able to do Uzziah Sanders dropping 22 points, exclamation point at the end, Dakari Wilson with 14, and Micaiah Sanders with 11. All 3 of those players in double figures for Lincoln Southwest as the Silverhawks stand atop the Class A boys basketball ranks. First state title for a non-Omaha school since 2017 with Norfolk, but the first title in boys basketball for a LPS school in the Class A ranks since 2003 with Lincoln High. It's been over 20-some years, 25 years pretty much, since the last time a LPS school captured a boys state basketball crown. A party like it's 2003, Lincoln Southwest. You finally got it done. They're first in school history, and they win that one over the Titans of Papillion La Vista South, 57-53 to get it done. But we're not done there. Those are the 3 games that have gone finals so far. The rest of the evening, around the 4 o'clock hour, we'll send it back out to PBA, where C2 will do battle with number 5, Norfolk Catholic, with a 24-4 record, taking on Bergen Catholic, who are the 2 seed. They are 27-1. That should be a good matchup in C2 basketball. And to begin the afternoon session, the evening session, I have to say, because these games will go until about 10 o'clock at night over at the Vault. Following that one, Class B, Scotts Bluff. Their bus is parked outside. I don't know if you can see it from here. In the top image there, you can see it in the top. That bus across the street right there. You can see they've been staying over there across the street from our studios here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Walked in this morning. They were leaving to go do shoot around at Nebraska Wesleyan. They did that. Remember yesterday, Scotts Bluff knocked off Norris in the semifinals to put the Bearcats in the state title for a 2nd consecutive year. Scotts Bluff just arrived back. I don't know what they're doing. They're probably just resting up because they have a game here in about 3 hours. They're probably going to head down to Pinnacle Bank, I would assume, soon. Probably during this hour that we're talking, that Scotts Bluff's going to make the quick drive down to Pinnacle Bank Arena, because Scotts Bluff, the 3 seed, entering with a record of 23-4, beat Gretna East, and then Norris. They will play at 6:15 against the Elkhorn North Wolves, who knocked off Wahoo in the first round and then defeated Scott Catholic, the 3-time defending champions, last night at Pinnacle Bank Arena in 2 of the biggest upsets you'll see. Obviously, Ogallala losing to DC West. You had Lincoln Southwest yesterday beating West Side, and you had those 2. It was a crazy day of basketball at Pinnacle Bank Arena throughout. So let's just touch base. Those are the games that have gone final. Archangels Catholic, 50-30 win over Elgin Pope John. Ashland Greenwood, 42-39 over DC West in C1. And then Class A just happening now. The Silverhawks of Lincoln Southwest defeating Papillion La Vista South to claim their first state basketball title in boys basketball, the first for a Lincoln-based school in Class A boys basketball since 2003. So we're going to go to break, just to reset the top of the hour. Game ended a little bit, 2:38, so kind of gives us a little time. We're going to pause for station identification and whatnot, and we're going to set the table. We're going to review the games, recap the games that just happened in Pinnacle Bank Arena today, the 3 games that went final. Set the table for tonight's games, dive into what those games detail. And if you're going, or if you have been to Pinnacle Bank Arena today, I would like to know what the atmosphere is like for that Class A game, Class C1, Class D, D2. If you were hanging around there all day for all 3 games, I'd love to hear from you. And on your drive to your destination or whatnot, that's why I'm here. That's why we're here. Nick Sainer and Jay Foreman, phenomenal job as always on the call. They have, I don't know how they still have their voices, but they did it. And then Austin Orman and Tristan Gomez are going to get you on the call for the next 3 games across the evening session. Those being the C2, Class B, and the Class D1 championship games. So we'll dive into what just happened this morning at Pinnacle Bank Arena and get you caught up to speed. And then we will look ahead to what's tonight to begin the top of the hour. So if you'd like to join the conversation, 402-464-5685. That's 402-464-5685. And then we will dive into more college basketball as tickets are being punched. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about Nebraska's game. I know we don't want to talk about it, what happened with Purdue. It is what it is. New season starts next Thursday or Friday for the Huskers. We'll dive into that one and look ahead to other games that are going on across the landscape of college basketball. So Ticket Weekends, Nick Whyman with you until around 4 o'clock for the Class C2 state boys basketball title between Norfolk Catholic and Bergen Catholic. We'll be right back. Nick Whyman here, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Looking for something fun tonight? Axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Stop into Zollner Florida Beatrice for Truck Month. Check out 0% financing with approved credit on all F-150s excluding Raptor. Or save up to $11,000 off MSRP on select 2025 SDX and XLT models in stock. Check out many service specials as well. $20 rebate on the Works package or up to $50 off new brakes and rotors. Maverick, Ranger, Super Duty, F-150 or Bronco. It's Truck Month at Zollner Florida Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
When you or someone you know has been seriously injured and you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will fight for the justice you deserve in court to get the very best possible outcome. Trust the compassionate and hardworking attorneys at Liberty Law Group when you need an attorney in Nebraska or Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Ticket Weekends, Nick Whyman here, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Lincoln Southwest, first state title for boys basketball in 24 years. First time for LPS school as well. 2003 was the last time a LPS school in Class A grabbed a Class A state boys basketball championship. But that date doesn't matter anymore. It's irrelevant. 2026, March 14th, Lincoln Public Schools has a Class A state champion on their hands, with that being the Silverhawks of Lincoln Southwest. What a morning. I mean, what a day. You had that game, the Class C1 game, D2, 3 games down. We got 3 more left. It feels like we were just here a week ago with the girls tournament, with those games taking place all over the entire week as well. But got 3 more left. 3 more left on the docket. It sounds like we're going to be sending it back out there around between 4:10 and 4:15 for tip-off of the Class C2 championship game. So if you're looking for Bergen Catholic against Norfolk Catholic at C2, that game will start at 4:15. Following that will be the Class B championship, Elkhorn North and Scotts Bluff. And to cap off our coverage of the NSA Boys State Basketball Tournament, the 2026 edition of the State Boys Basketball Tournament will be D1 between Howells Dodge and McCool Junction. Nick Whyman here, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. There's been a lot going on. Those 3 games that are gone final. We'll recap what happened down at Pinnacle Bank this morning, but also college basketball. Tickets are being punched across the the auto bids are going on today across some mid-majors, some Power 4 conferences, but also some semifinals going on. Teams like Wisconsin, Michigan tipped off, UCLA and Purdue also tipping off as well today to determine who goes to the Big Ten championship. Because Nebraska was eliminated yesterday after having a triple bye, just like Michigan State and Illinois. So the triple bye wasn't as friendly as most thought. Only one team, being Michigan, of those 4 teams who got the triple bye, advance to the Big Ten semifinals. But before you go any further, if you'd love to join the conversation, Sorry Heyman Jewelers text line will be open for the next hour, 402-464-5685. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, or Allo Channel 9, so I can see your messages, read your comments on the air, and we can have a discussion because you and me are here for the next hour. You're locked in. If you need a breath of fresh air after watching not only college basketball, but there's 3 games this morning at Pinnacle Bank Arena, I got you. 402-464-5685. Before we go any further, we'll start at the top of the games that have happened so far in Lincoln. It's been a crazy week. We had some really good games at Pinnacle Bank yesterday, some overtime games at Bob Devaney throughout the week from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 games each day, and 6 games today with the 6 championship games. Let's start in D2 and kind of put a bow on each of the classes that have happened so far. So Elgin Public Pope John, EPPJ, the tongue twister reading that real quick, EPPJ real quick. They entered the tournament 23-3, defeated Pleasanton 42-46 in a nail biter to begin our coverage on Wednesday at Pinnacle Bank, but then they shifted over to Bob Devaney and defeated Guardian Angels Central Catholic GAC 44-33 yesterday morning in the semifinals. That put Elgin Public Pope John up against Archangels Catholic in the D2 state championship game this morning at 9 a.m. Archangels Catholic was 24-2 entering tournament play. They started the tournament on Wednesday evening, beating Falls City Sacred Heart 49-28, and then yesterday defeating St. Mary's 57-52 in the Class D2 semifinals. That sets the stage for a Class D2 boys state championship game between Elgin Public Pope John and Archangels Catholic. This game, Archangels Catholic this morning went out on a nice run to begin the game, scored 12 of the 17 points in the first quarter to lead the way. Really low scoring second quarter between both squads as Archangels Catholic scored 7 of the 8 points in the second quarter. No field goals made by EPPJ, Elgin Public Pope John, in the second period, which put Archangels Catholic leading by a score of 19-6, the halftime score. An early morning game, neither team really could take the lid off the basket to begin it, but Archangels Catholic held a 19-6 lead. A low scoring affair. Neither team shot the ball well in general. We'll get to the stats, the full stats on this one as well. But second half, they kind of both found a groove, 30 total points in the third period of play between both squads. So started to get some offense, but in that period, Archangels Catholic pulled away, outscoring EPBJ 18-12 in the third period, as Archangels Catholic built up an even larger lead, ended up winning the fourth quarter as well, 13-12, which led to an Archangels Catholic state championship win in Class D2 by a score of 50-30 over Elgin Public Pope John. In this one, the shooting percentage was not great across the board. EPPJ was held to 8 of 30 from the floor, 1 of 14 from the three-point line, and got to the line, 13 free throws. So 13 of the 30 points came from the free throw line, but the shooting percentage is 8 of 30 from the floor. That puts them at 27% as a group. And then from the three-point line, neither team really shot the ball well from there. EPPJ, Elgin Public Pope John, with a 1 for 14, which puts them at 7%. On the flip side, Archangels Catholic, 3 of 13 from 3, 23%. However, they shot 20 of 51 in total, which was put them at 39% from the floor, which is why they won by 20 points in a state championship. And they also, Archangels made it a little difficult, though. 7 of 18 from the free throw line, 39%. A lot of turnovers in this one, 23-15 in favor of Archangels. Rebounding went in favor of Archangels. They had more points in the paint. They had more points in the paint than EPPJ had in total, 34-14 in points in the paint. Fast break points also going in Archangels' favor on pretty much everything went their way in that Class D2 championship. Archangels picked up a 50-30 win in that first game today at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Wasn't a ton of drama in that one, but I mean, when you're only scoring 6 points and a half, it's gonna hurt, and they made it hurt throughout. So after that one, we have two more games that happened already this morning. You had the Class C1 state championship game, which was between the 4 seed Douglas County West taking on the 2 seed Ashland Greenwood. You look at this one. This one's interesting how both these teams got it. Let's look at the road for the last 3 days between these teams. Play in C1 started on Thursday. Let's start with Ashland Greenwood. Ashland Greenwood entered 25-1 on the season. They've been a staple to the Class C1 boys basketball scene for a couple of years now. I would say a couple. It's been almost half a decade, more than half a decade, that Ashland Greenwood has made their presence felt at Pinnacle Bank Arena in the month of March. So Ashland Greenwood started tournament play with a double-digit win over Lincoln Christian in the 2-7 matchup at Bob Devaney. Made the quick trip over to Pinnacle Bank on Friday morning. Ashland Greenwood beating Auburn. This is a matchup that these two teams have seen one another multiple times throughout tournament play, as the Bulldogs fell to Ashland Greenwood, so the Blue Jays advance to the state championship game once again. On the flip side of the bracket, Douglas County West. Last year, 365 days ago, DC West was a part of Class B. Played primarily a Class C1 schedule, C2 schedule, still got enough wildcard points, won their district final, got into the state tournament, but then matched up with Scott Kavler, who ended up winning the Class B state title a year ago. So Douglas County West, due to enrollment, goes back down to the C1 level. They get the 4th seed with a 21-6 record, defeat Grand Island Central Catholic in the first round, 49-41, to advance to the semifinals, where they faced off against 26-0 Ogallala at the time. Ogallala looked like Sawyer Smith nearly dropped a quadruple-double in that first-round game against Syracuse for Ogallala. But DC West picks up one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. There were plenty of upsets, but this was a 4-1. Don't ask them. That's probably not an upset for the DC West faithful. But they get a win 43-39 over Ogallala, which pushes DC West into the state title game this morning against Ashland Greenwood. Battle of the Birds between these two schools. This game, interesting one. Ashland Greenwood ends up pulling up a 42-39 win. It looks closer than it was. It came right down to the end on the scorebooks. But DC West came out scoring 11 of the first 15 points, held Ashland Greenwood in the first quarter. Ashland Greenwood only scores 4 points of those 15, so DC West pulls out a 11-4 advantage early in the first quarter. And so Ashland Greenwood, a very experienced team, a well-coached team. They have a lot of familiar names to their roster that have played in games and have faced adversity, and they played like a team like that. Because Ashland Greenwood flipped the script on DC West with an 11-5 advantage in the second quarter, which gave DC West a slim 16-15 lead at the halftime break. Greenwood ties it up again right to end the third quarter. So Ashland Greenwood, DC West are duking it out. It was a very physical game throughout. If you were able to catch this one, it wasn't the prettiest of offensive games. Neither one of these teams, I mean, both these teams have scored 50. DC West was kind of a 40-ish point team throughout the tournament, but they've scored 50, 60 points on hand throughout the regular season. And then you have a team like Ashland Greenwood who scored 65 on the first day of the quarterfinals and have been a prolific team throughout their time in the state tournament. So you have this game. Both these teams are duking it out. It is a very low-scoring affair in a sense. It's a very physical game. They're letting them play and whatnot. Ashland Greenwood had a 8-point lead with 2 minutes to go. Multiple possession lead with 2 minutes to go. It felt like Ashland Greenwood was closing in on another state title to their name at this point. However, in the final 3 minutes, nearly 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 47 seconds, Ashland Greenwood didn't make a single field goal. They struggled from the floor, and they missed a couple free throws down the stretch. DC West made some big-time shots as well. So all of a sudden, DC West, the door was open. Made a three on the other end, called timeout, turnover by Ashland Greenwood at that point, and DC West has a chance down 2 to tie the game, get a decent look at the rim. Ball rims out. Nothing they can really do about it. And then foul, Ashland Greenwood with about 2 seconds to go. It has to shoot free throws. Extends the lead to 3. DC West has a prayer in the end, essentially. Doesn't put it together, despite Ashland Greenwood going over down from the field goal department down the stretch in almost 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 47 seconds to be exact. The Blue Jays hang on for a state title. Was it pretty? No, but it's a state title, and that's all you remember. 42-39, Ashland Greenwood winning the Class C1 state title. Another one for them. Cale Jacobson, he's a Ashland native. He is a Ashland Greenwood alum on the Nebraska basketball team. I'm hoping he was able to catch this one and see his alma mater get the big W at where he plays basketball. I mean, Cale Jacobson has been a part of those state tournament teams, some of those state championship teams. And now you see that with the group that continues to leave a legacy behind in Ashland Greenwood in those two towns, respectively. Just a couple minutes outside of Lincoln, I'd say about 30 to 40 minutes down the road from the capital city. So probably a nice little drive back for Ashland and Greenwood. Ashland Greenwood, Class C1 state champions in Class C1 once again. So let's get into the Class A game. This is the final game that we had just went final about 30 minutes ago from Pinnacle Bank Arena. The storyline writes itself. Lincoln Southwest, there were a ton of Lincoln teams, like Lincoln North Star had a chance to make state. Lincoln Southeast, they were in district finals, but they lost. So they were automatically out. There's only there's 7 districts, 1 wild card. The 1 wild card ends up not going to them, goes to Creighton Prep. As Lincoln High is the other LPS school to steal a berth by winning their district final. So that happens. Sets the table. Lincoln High gets a classic against Omaha Westside on the first day of the tournament. 18-point lead. Westside comes back to win it in that one to advance to the semifinals. But Lincoln Southwest, look at their journey. Lincoln Southwest enters the tournament 21-4 is the 4 seed, the highest ranked Lincoln team remaining in the state tournament. So you get Lincoln Southwest playing Millard North, a team who has put out a lot of really good basketball players across the high school level, but also went on to play collegiately and whatnot. Hunter Salas played there most notably, and a couple others. So Lincoln Southwest in a high-scoring affair to begin tournament play last Wednesday, 81-71 win over the Mustangs to push the Silverhawks into the Class A state semifinals. The teams remaining in Class A at this point, Omaha Westside, Omaha Metro School. Bellevue West, Omaha Metro School. Papillion La Vista South, Omaha Metro School. And then Lincoln Southwest, the Lincoln area school left remaining. It's no secret it's been a while since Lincoln has not only appeared in a state championship game, but also won a Class A state championship game. So Lincoln Southwest pulls the upset over Omaha Westside in a thrilling ending yesterday at Pinnacle Bank Arena, puts the Silverhawks in the state title. On the other side of the bracket, so Lincoln Southwest picking up wins over Millard North and Westside to push the record to 23-4 entering today. On the other side of the bracket, you have the 6th seed, Papillion La Vista South. The defending state champions are back, 17-6 record. They start tournament play with a 57-48 win over Creighton Prep, and then knock off Bellevue West, another team who has had notable players at the collegiate level. Chucky Hepburn being one of the most notable for the Thunderbirds program, was at Wisconsin and Louisville most recently for his collegiate career. So that pushes Papillion La Vista South with 19-6 against Lincoln Southwest, 23-4. Seeding doesn't mean everything. I mean, 1 through 8, you just got to win 3 games. That's all it is. And we've seen sometimes a 6 seed get hot, sometimes a 7 seed, sometimes a 3 seed. This case, a 4 seed. Lincoln Southwest playing Papillion La Vista South, tipped off around 1 o'clock today. If you missed it, it was worth the listen. It was worth the watch. It was worth the, seeing it in person. Because Lincoln Southwest got it done in a gritty 57-53 game that gives a Lincoln area at Lincoln Public School a state boys basketball title for the first time since 2003, which was by Lincoln High. 24 years later, Lincoln Southwest is standing atop the Class A boys basketball ranks. story writes itself. This group, one of the players quoted yesterday is like, I don't even remember the last time. Like, I don't remember. I really don't know. It's been forever. And Lincoln Southwest gets it done. Past couple of years has been Omaha Metro School from either Papillion or Omaha or Bellevue or Millard winning it all. Lincoln Southwest is on top of Class A boys basketball. This was a fun one throughout. You had some really good basketball play. Uzziah Sanders, the Sanders brothers, Dakari Wilson. Those guys have kind of led the charge for the Silverhawks, not only today, but throughout the regular season. They have some solid role players, Meyer, Kerr, who are going to make some big shots down the stretch. Crockett, some of those four guys are basically the rotational players of the West, along with those three stars of their team. Those guys made some big shots when they had to. Obviously, the Sanders brothers and Dakari Wilson are going to get the mention, but Crockett, Wilson, Kerr, and Meyer, or Crockett, Kerr, and Meyer ended up having 12 points combined. Those 12 points, without those 12 points, Lincoln Southwest ain't holding this Class A state title. Team game. Obviously, you're going to have your scores, but they're going to make some shots when it matters. Crockett making his one shot he attempted was a 3-point shot in that one to help Lincoln Southwest to win. That is Levante Crockett, number 5 for Lincoln Southwest. Kobe Kerr also scoring in that one for the Silverhawks to help them get past that one. He scored in that game as well. So obviously they're going to remember the guys, the stars of the team. But hey, those guys, Kobe Kerr, Levante Crockett, and Creighton Meyer, all were able to play a role in some shape or form to help the Silverhawks to a state title. Crazy game out of the gate between these two teams. If you were there, I'd like to hear what it was like. Was it like watching a Husker game there at Pinnacle Bank Arena? As 19-13 lead for Papillion Memphis South. Both teams are trading blows. It felt like a boxing match out of the gate. Both teams were trading shots left and right. Papillion Memphis South hit a couple threes out of the gate to grab some momentum, forced the Silverhawks to use an early timeout. But the Titans held a 19-13 lead out of the gate. However, Southwest put a stop to that. They scored 12 of the 19 points in the second quarter to cut into that deficit. And that is what the Silverhawks did to make it a 12-7 second quarter. And then all of a sudden, Lincoln Southwest took over in the second half. Uzziah Sanders dropping 20 big ones to help the Silverhawks to a win and win a state title for the first time for a Lincoln school since 2003. First time for a non-Omaha school in Class A since Norfolk in 2000. What did I write down here? It's 2017. So it's been a while. So Class A state title is here in Lincoln and it's here to stay. So we're going to go to a break. We'll talk about Husker basketball, Big Ten basketball, and some auto bids coming up here and set the table for tonight's games here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Whyman here. We'll see. Harrison Orange just walked in. Nick Whyman. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, cold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings, thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings this spring, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. March's cream cheese flavor is Green Goddess. Pair it with a leprechaun latte. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts. Pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher, and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
St. Patrick's Day may be on Tuesday, but the fun can't wait that long at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards. Join them on Sunday, March 15th for St. Maddie's Day. It's Sunday fun day for the whole family and the most festive party around. The fun goes from noon till 8 p.m. and starts with bowling and a trivia tournament, with DJ Love spinning tunes from across the decades and throwing in Irish ditties. Plus, enjoy an Irish buffet all day long with corned beef and cabbage, bangers and mash, and more. And music to end the night by Crosby, Stills, Bangers and Mash. It's St. Maddie's Day at Madsen's on Sunday, March 15th.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Nebraska men's basketball is headed to Chicago as the 2 seed for the Big Ten tournament, and we're headed with them. Join me, Jake Sorensen, and DP for coverage from the United Center this weekend as the Huskers look to start the postseason off on the right note. 93.7 The Ticket's coverage from the men's Big Ten tournament is sponsored by Runza, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, the Lincoln Airport, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that
first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Filling in Ticket Weekends with Nick Whyman here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 3 games down, 3 more to go at the Vault this afternoon. As mentioned, D2 wrapping up this morning, C1 and A in the books. 3 more to go right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Stainer, Jay Foreman done for the 2026 edition of the Boys State Basketball Tournament. And they'll tag in Austin Orman and Tristan Gomez. It's Gomez, not Gomes. You may hear Gomes, but it's Gomez. I truly will have to get a pronunciation guide or something like that at one point. And I said Harrison was here. I lied. That is actually Jake Sorensen. He's back. You may have heard him this morning on, as he's looking in here. You might have seen him this morning on weekends when we were filling in as well. He was here from Chicago. He's getting out of here. There he goes. He's leaving. He made it back. So if anybody's wondering, Jake Sorensen is back from Chicago, from the Big Ten tournament. But he's getting out of here. He's got his bags and everything. I think he literally just walked in. The guy never sleeps. The guy got to do what he's got to do. Now he's out of here. He's out of here. So I asked if he wanted to hop on again, but I guess not. But I totally don't blame him. So he's out of here. Jake Sorensen, catch him on Monday, 6 o'clock in the morning, early break. He's out of here. So, yeah, I lied. It was not Harrison. My peripheral vision is not great, I guess. But moving on, state basketball. Sounds like the tip-off will be around 4:15 for Bergen Catholic and Norfolk Catholic. Those listening to tune into that. But you'll have me for the next half an hour to 45 minutes right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. If you didn't know, you'll also catch the Class B championship game here to follow later this evening between Scottsbluff and Elkhorn North. And after that, you can catch the final game of the 2025-2026 high school basketball season in the D1 championship with Howells Dodge taking on McCool Junction. All right. We're set. Housekeeping done. Let's move on to college basketball and put a wrap on what happened yesterday. I will get it out of the way. If you'd love to join the conversation, Nebraska basketball dropped their lone game in the Big Ten tournament, losing to Purdue by a score of 74-58. If you were there in Chicago, like Jake Sorensen, who just got back from Chicago, I don't know what your other plans are. Maybe you have a couple more days up in Chicago. I heard it was really windy. It's Chicago. What do you expect in the springtime, or March, April? But if you were there, 402-464-5685, or if you're driving around watching, or if you were watching the game yesterday, what were your overall thoughts on Nebraska as they gear up for a new season in the NCAA tournament, starting next week, Thursday or Friday, depending on where they play? We'll find out. 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line, open for the rest of the show, 402-464-5685. So Nebraska got off to a slow start against Purdue. I feel like got to pinch myself because I think I've seen this one before, and that kind of is what happened when they were here at Pinnacle Bank Arena a couple weeks back. Not as slow as that one, but still a slow start where shots weren't falling, and Purdue was able to just take advantage and get under the basket and whatnot. Oscar Clough had 9 rebounds in this one. I don't think it was all. The Nebraska had a decent job on the boards, but didn't do as much as I thought they would. Troy Kaufman, Wren, and Oscar Clough with 9 rebounds apiece in this one to end up with 37 rebounds to Nebraska's 29. So they did lose the rebounding battle, though it wasn't as crazy as the last time they played. So Purdue ends up winning the first half 41-28. Nebraska was in a sense where, hey, we got to do another comeback against this Boilermaker team. It's very tough to do against the good teams in college basketball in general. Nebraska's done it a couple times against a team like Minnesota. They've had a little comeback against Maryland. Not like a crazy comeback, though. The biggest one was that Indiana one, which is still shocking that happened on the road against Indiana the day after Indiana won a college football playoff game. But you had a a chance to really do something here and win. People are saying, hey, if Nebraska wins the Big Ten, maybe they can get to a 2 seed. Maybe not. Who knows? But a 74-58 loss to the Boilermakers puts Nebraska more than likely. I don't think you get punished for this. We talked about this early morning. Scott and Lincoln chimed in. Virginia Pirate saying, yeah, I don't think they should get punished. I go back to this from Virginia Pirate. He says, I'm thinking a 3 seed. The regular season conference record should be rewarded, in my opinion. Line up the resumes. It's a no-brainer to me. First thought on that, I totally agree with you because you shouldn't get punished for playing extra games, regardless, win or lose. I think same situation for a team like in the MAC, Miami, Ohio. They're undefeated. They lose to UMass. Shouldn't get punished for playing extra game. You went undefeated the regular season. It's also not college football. One game does not decide your season unless you're a bubble team, which at this point, Miami, Ohio shouldn't be a bubble team in the MAC. And Nebraska clearly is not a bubble team. We're used to them being a bubble team, but they are clearly a top 4 seed in the Big Dance. So you line up the resumes. I know you put like Nebraska with Gonzaga, Iowa State, and whatnot. Those teams who have been teams in the state in the NCAA tournament, like Gonzaga, stable to the tournament. Iowa State has been there for a number of years and whatnot. Nebraska has to be a 3 seed. I mean, you look at the brands, I should say, put the brands aside, put the resumes together. Nebraska has a very similar resume to a lot of these other teams. They are you see the word Nebraska basketball, you think, man, 4 seed? No. But you put the resume next to them, Iowa State, Gonzaga. Nebraska is a very similar, maybe better resume than some of the teams mentioned and whatnot in that range. I agree. Kent chimes in the chat, says 3 seed. Where at do you think? I think a 3 seed. That was kind of what I was diving in here. I think they are a 3 seed because of they for sure are a 3 seed. Purdue's a good team. Purdue is a good basketball team. Have they played some poor games down the stretch of the regular season? Yes. But I think you're looking at that. Kent also says 3 seed. Oh, you think the city? You're thinking the city. Where do you think Nebraska can go play at? I'm gonna say. I mean, earlier at the start of the show, before we go into a break, before going to college, high school basketball, I said St. Louis or Oklahoma City. I think is more than likely the destination. Nebraska. For a fan side of things, I think those are the most favorable ones just because they're easiest to travel to. You got to think, we won't know until Sunday afternoon around this time tomorrow. And if you hear Oklahoma City, that's an easy drive. St. Louis, you can drive down there. I wouldn't say easy drive, but it's a better drive than going to like Buffalo or going to, California would be interesting too. But I think for a fan standpoint and ones who want to watch history of Nebraska potentially winning their first NCAA tournament game, it's got to be Oklahoma City or St. Louis. I think those are the 2 cities you're looking at if you are looking. I don't know, Kent, if you're looking to go down there, I think those are the 2 cities you would be wanting to go to because the travel planning is going to be quick because Sunday, the bracket will come out around 4 or 5 o'clock. And then if you have work or whatnot and you want a Thursday, Friday game, I think those are your 2 that you're going to go for, Kent. I'm not saying it's a lock. That's what it's going to be. That's what some people are saying. But for a fan standpoint of those who want to watch Nebraska basketball, for the easiest travel destination, Oklahoma City, St. Louis. I don't know. It depends what floats your boat, what to do between games and whatnot. But I think those are the best 2 destinations for getting enough Husker fans in there. I do trust Nebraska fans to travel to this just because one of the best basketball, if not the best basketball season in school history. Last year's postseason, what they did in the college basketball crown, 26-6 overall record, despite losing some games down the stretch. You have a chance to witness some history and see Nebraska finally put an end to that asterisk they put next to every time when Northwestern won it that one year, won a tournament game, that Nebraska is the last D1 team, Power 4 team to not win a March Madness game. Jason, longtime listener, says, very frustrating. A big part of this is, he said, Fred needs to get creative when Nebraska is playing a hot Purdue team who is not a great matchup for Nebraska. Nebraska went 6 for 6 down the stretch, maybe try some things to get hot for the team on the heels. Nebraska did do a little bit. They were down big at one point. Braden Smith made some top of the key threes. CJ Cox as well. But then Nebraska cut it to single digits and forced Purdue to call a timeout. Purdue got a little sloppy in there. They've done that from time to time. Purdue's done that. We saw it right here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. I do think Nebraska did get creative. They did what they could to try to get Purdue off rhythm. This was also a Purdue team who was in rhythm the night before. They played Northwestern in the second round of the conference tournament. They looked like a team who just had momentum on their side. And I also think it's not even like the creativeness of the offense. I just think it was more to the experience. Nebraska had basically 3-on-5, essentially. They weren't making free throws either, shot below 50%. And Nebraska struggled for the most part. I think it's more of experience in neutral site tournament. You've seen Nebraska in neutral sites with, Pentagon against Oklahoma and whatnot, Kansas City with those 2 games down there against New Mexico and Kansas State earlier this season. I mean, before Thanksgiving, essentially. But I think from Big Ten tournament experience, everybody knows one another at this point of the season. They know what each team brings. They know the rotations. They know what each team likes to do. Nebraska, reminder, didn't even make the Big Ten conference tournament a year ago. So this is a group led with guys who haven't really had a whole lot of Big Ten tournament experience. Regular season is regular season. I meant Big Ten tournament. This is when March is kicking into high gear. And Purdue's a team, Matt Painter's team is very experienced in March. They have made the semifinals a number of times in the Big Ten tournament. And there's a reason they have been a very good team. There's a reason they're preseason number 1 a lot of the years that Matt Painter's been there. They've been a preseason number 1 in the Big Ten a number of years that Matt Painter's been there. And they have some really talented players across the board. Is it the most prettiest brand of basketball? Like Oscar Clough isn't Zach Edey or Isaac Haas or whatnot, but he's able to just get the job done and work off those screens. And Braden Smith's an excellent passer and whatnot. Fletcher Lawyer led them in scoring with 19 points. He's able to just knock down shots on a consistent basis. It's a tough team to play around. And when they're on, they're on. And Nebraska caught them at one point. And Nebraska did chip away, but ended up falling behind in that one as Purdue just was able to just put it all together and win the rebounding battle. It wasn't an egregious rebounding battle, but they still were able to win the rebounding battle. Fletcher Lawyer made some big-time shots. Every time Nebraska was able to get some momentum on their side, it felt like Purdue, the Boilermakers, were able to just answer on the other end and take momentum away from another ferocious comeback, which was denied by the Boilermakers. So, yeah, Nebraska falling one and done in Big Ten play, but tomorrow we find out the fate of Nebraska basketball, where they will play and where they sit. Like I said, I think a 3 seed is more than likely the observation for this Nebraska team. If you look at the body of work, 26-6, 2 seed in the Big Ten Conference, regardless of how that game went yesterday, this team is still a very good team. There's a reason they've won 26 of the 32 games. They're still a very talented group. And I think even if you lose this game, I think it's a good experience because you get a chance to play in front of a neutral site crowd, make a trip out, and see what it's like to play in a neutral site and against some really quality teams. And they got that in Purdue. Nebraska gets a chance to not only feel that, but they also feel what it's like losing right away. Nebraska on next week, they don't want to have that feeling of losing a game right away in the Big Ten tournament, not the Big Ten tournament, the NCAA tournament. They don't want to have that feeling of losing one game. And now they get to see what it's like to lose one game in a tournament and be done. Nebraska doesn't want to have that feeling going into and have that feeling close out this year because regardless, I think it's a successful season regardless, win or lose game 1 next week. That team next week they're playing, whether it be North Dakota State, UC Irvine, Hawaii, or whatnot, whoever the 14 seed is going to have, they're not going to have a lot of pressure on them. They're going to be a tough team. They're going to have to play loose because, hey, you're the underdog team. And we've seen it time and time again with those 12, 13, 14 seeds and sometimes a 15 or a 16 seed, give or take what year you're watching. those teams get picked off. So Nebraska will have to play like any other game. Can't fall behind against teams because in March, you got to control momentum and control what you can control. And that's what Nebraska's got to do the rest of the way. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll set the table for the Big Ten tournament. We'll look at the scores across the board as Michigan, Wisconsin were playing earlier today. Another really good game. And then Purdue and UCLA on the other side of the bracket of the Big Ten semifinals. Before that sets the table for the Big Ten championship game and other conference championship games tomorrow. Along with that, we'll look at some auto bids that happened as well. And then we'll do about a 15-minute segment before we send you back to Pinnacle Bank Arena for the Class C2 state title game. Reminder, that game will be tipping off around 4:15. We'll send you out there around 4:10-ish for number 2, Bergen Catholic against number 5, Norfolk Catholic. Battle there in Class C2. Reminder after that one, if you're listening for other games across the final day of the NSAA State Boys Basketball Tournament, Bergen, Norfolk Catholic facing off in a matter of moments. After that one, number 3, Scotts Bluff against number 4, Elkhorn North in the Class B championship game. And then to wrap up the 2025-2026 boys basketball high school season, the Class D1 championship, number 1, Howells Dodge against number 6, McCool Junction. So when we come back, we'll look at some scores across the world of college basketball today. A lot of basketball going on. It is March, folks. Ticket weekends. Nick Whyman here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
There's no place like McKinney's Irish Pub for St. Patrick's Day, so mark your calendars to join in on the fun for their 12th annual Street Festival. The party goes all weekend long, but starts on March 14th and 15th with tons of giveaways, great Irish food, and green beer. And it continues on Tuesday the 17th for actual St. Patrick's Day. Doors open for the bar at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 11 a.m. on Sunday, and 9 a.m. on Tuesday. And the street party starts at 2 p.m. all 3 days. Don't miss out on great music and great fun with no cover charge for St. Patrick's Day weekend at McKinney's Irish Pub, located at 8th and P.
Hello, I'm Steve Sipple, co-host of Early Break, weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And my favorite thing to do, see, or go to in downtown Lincoln is probably O'Rourke's. It's not like I go there that often, but when I do, it takes me back to my college years. It's always been a very chill bar. Seems like they play good music, just a good vibe in there. And I look forward to my next trip into that bar.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Take your operation to the next level. Right now at Landmark Implement, take advantage of special financing on model year 2019 through 2025 John Deere tractors, sprayers, and combines. Take advantage of a 12-month fixed interest waiver, followed by John Deere Financial standard rates, or choose from multiple split rate offers with approved credit. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the rest of the 93.7 The Ticket crew as we bring you live coverage of the 2026 NSAA Boys State Basketball Tournament from Pinnacle Bank Arena. The action tips off Wednesday, March 11th. If it's being played at Pinnacle Bank Arena, it's heard on the ticket, Class A to Class D2, all week long. Join us March 11th through March 14th as we crown 6 state champions at the 2026 NSAA Boys State Basketball Tournament right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes a complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, Ticket Weekends. Nick Whyman here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Filling in for a couple more minutes. This hour's flown by while we're talking about high school basketball. Husker basketball falling to Purdue yesterday, a little under 24 hours ago at the state tournament, or at the Big Ten tournament. State tournament going on. 3 games down, 3 more to go from Pinnacle Bank Arena. So while we're here, 402-464-5685, a couple more minutes to get your thoughts on everything that's going on in the sports world. We talked about Nebraska. The Big Ten tournament's going on right now as well. And the high school. If you've been down at Pinnacle Bank, love to hear what your thoughts are so far on what's going on at the Vault throughout the day. We had some pretty good games. Ashland Greenwood winning in a thriller. DC West nearly pulling off a ferocious comeback. And then the Class A game with Lincoln Southwest winning their first state title the first one, and then Lincoln High's first in a long time. So it should be a fun one. So it'll be interesting to say the least what the rest of the night holds with Class C2, B, and D1. So I've just received word there's 25 minutes on the clock until it starts. So we will send it back down there around 4:15-ish between then and there. But before then, we talked about the Big Ten, Nebraska, what happened yesterday, and that loss is what it is. You move on. Next time Nebraska basketball takes the floor will be in the NCAA tournament. But the Big Ten tournament trucks on. Wisconsin and Michigan, a rematch from earlier in the year when Michigan suffered a loss at home to the Badgers. And Wisconsin's been one of the hottest teams in college basketball in general. Not just the big team, Big Ten, but college basketball. Wisconsin falls 68-65 to the Wolverines. Michigan, the top seed in the Big Ten Conference, advances to the Big Ten Championship tomorrow in one of the final games of Conference Tournament Week. Currently going on, Purdue is playing UCLA, the 6 and the 7 seed matching up. Purdue holding a 51-43 lead over the Bruins, 51-43 with around under 12 minutes to play in regulation. You could get a Michigan versus Purdue Big Ten tournament final, which a lot of people did predict earlier in the day. So a couple more scores going on before we take a break. at the top of the hour. Ole Miss, reminder, Ole Miss has 4 SEC wins all year. They're the 15 seed in the SEC tournament. They're in the semifinals. They're still playing today. They're playing 17 Arkansas right now. They're winning with 17 minutes to go in regulation. The Rebels hold a 42-41 lead over the Razorbacks. Ole Miss has a 15-19 record. If they win today and they win tomorrow, the 17-19 Ole Miss Rebels will be heading to the big dance. It's crazy to think. And they might steal Auburn's bid. Hey, all you got to do is win 2 more games. Doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish, I guess is the slogan for that team. A ton of other semifinals, the American Conference, the A10 Conference going on. Arizona, Houston, you have the tip. That's tipping off in a matter of about an hour. You get St. John's and UConn in under an hour, or under 2 hours, actually, from Madison Square Garden between the St. John's Red Storm and the UConn Huskies. Going down, you have the MAC championship tonight between Akron and Toledo. Could you get a 3-bid MAC with Akron, Miami, Ohio, and Toledo? Or is Akron in a win now situation? We'll find out tomorrow as well. Prairie View A&M playing Southern for the SWAC championship game later tonight. Duke, Virginia in the ACC championship game. La Tech and Kennesaw State in the Conference USA title game. And then the nightcap, you have 2 more title games. You have the Big West championship between UC Irvine and Hawaii. If you're a Nebraska fan, I watch that one because you might get one of those teams in the first round, potentially, maybe. UC Irvine's a pretty good team. Hawaii, I watched a little bit of them last night in their game against Cal State Fullerton. They're also a pretty fun team as well. And then the WAC to cap off the night with Utah Valley and California Baptist in that one as well. Some games have gone final. Vanderbilt is advancing to the SEC final. They won over Florida 91-74. Yale is marching on to the Ivy League title tomorrow, 88-76 over Cornell. UMBC is going back to the March Madness, the big dance, by beating the Vermont Catamounts 74-59. UMBC, you got to put them against Virginia. You got to. I don't know how some way, just have it happen. Their coach, Ryan Odom, he's now the coach of Virginia. He used to coach UMBC. It'd be a funny situation to have that as a championship game or a first-round game. Howard defeated North Carolina Central 70-63, so Howard wins the MEAC conference to head to the big dance. Dayton knocks off St. Louis, so the Dayton Flyers are heading to the A10 championship game tomorrow. That'll be before the Big Ten championship game. And then the final, Penn knocks off Harvard in overtime 62-60, so Penn will face Harvard for the Ivy League crown tomorrow. Fun note about that one, Penn's head coach, Fran McCaffrey. So Fran McCaffrey is 1 win away from heading back to the big dance in March Madness. So plenty of games going on as well. I mean, if you're watching the Big Ten games, there's plenty to see. There's been a lot of really good games across the board in here in Lincoln, but also in the NCAA realm of possibilities, because you're seeing some really good games across the board and some exciting matchups all over basketball. It's March. We're almost there. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll set the table for Austin Orman and Tristan Gomez as they are set to call the final 3 games of the NSAA Boys State Basketball Tournament. We'll set the stage and recap what has happened so far, and then move on to the next 3 games, as those games are set to tip off this afternoon over at Pinnacle Bank Arena. A lot of people walking over, as I see right now. 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Whyman here. We'll be right back.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
When you or someone you know has been seriously injured and you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will fight for the justice you deserve in court to get the very best possible outcome. Trust the compassionate and hardworking attorneys at Liberty Law Group when you need an attorney in Nebraska or Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters. especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year's savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now, with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Good news, LES customers. Even though their lobby at 2620 Fairfield Street closes July 31st, they've still got plenty of convenient ways to support you. Find your best options at les.com.
Forget the lame excuse this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work for those 2 magical days in mid-March. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday, March 19th and 20th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday to get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it, and stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. It's March Mayhem with 93.7 The Ticket for the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings on 68th and O.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Looking for something fun tonight? Axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
To the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Ticket Weekends. Nick Whyman here for only a couple more minutes before we send it back out to Pinnacle Bank Arena. for the start of the afternoon session of the 2026 NSAA Boys State Basketball Tournament. 3 games in the books, 3 more to go. Halfway point. We're at the halfway point. A lot of people walking around. Must be nice outside. Got here this morning around 8 o'clock. It was freezing cold, but 3 games in the books, 3 more to go. Let's do a quick little recap in the next 10 minutes before we take a break. And the next thing you hear on the other side will be Austin Orman and Tristan Gomez on the other side with a coverage of the Class C2 state championship game between the 2 seed Bergen Catholic and the 5 seed Norfolk Catholic. So we're almost there. The hour flew by. If you were here spending time between games listening to me, appreciate you. For those on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Allo Channel 961. As always, if you'd love to join the conversation, if you are heading down the Pinnacle Bank, who you cheering for tonight? 402-464-5685. As always, if you're at the games, we can see your text line as well. Austin, Tristan, you can chime in with them what you like about the games as well. 402-464-5685. So to recap what happened this morning, D2 started off the day. You had Archangels Catholic with a 50-30 win over top seed Elgin Public Pope John. Archangels Catholic held a 19-7 lead at the halftime break, limited EPPJ throughout the half, which led to a win for Archangels Catholic to capture a D2 state championship game and win a state title. So that game was the start off the day, 9 o'clock this morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. After that, turned our attention to Class C1. The 2 seed Ashland Greenwood defeated the 4 seed Douglas County West, DC West, by a score of 42-39 in a game that Ashland Greenwood had in hand, didn't score for almost about the final 2 minutes and 47 seconds of play, which led to Ashland Greenwood holding on for a 42-39 win. DC West, ferocious comeback, but fell short as the Blue Jays capture yet another basketball title on the boys' side of things. Moving down the line, the final game that just wrapped up, the third of the 6 games, was the Class A state title. Lincoln Southwest, the first Lincoln public school in Class A to win a state title since 2003, which was Lincoln High. The Silverhawks stand atop Class A boys basketball with a 57-53 victory over the Papillion La Vista South Titans to put an end to a two-peat potentially for Papillion La Vista South. Now Isaiah Sanders dropping 20 points in that one. Dakar Wilson behind him with 14. And finally scoring in double figures, Micaiah Sanders with 11. Those 3 guys obviously in double figures. Levante Crockett with 3 for the Silverhawks. Kobe Kerr adding 5 as well in that one. And then Creighton Meyer finishing out the scoring with 4. So the Silverhawks with 6 players in the books. Without those 3 guys making those shots down the stretch, Kerr, Meyer, and Crockett, that's 12 points that they wouldn't have had. Southwest probably doesn't win a state title. So it's a team effort. Sanders brothers, obviously, and Dakar Wilson are their 3 guys, but the other guys stepped up when they needed it to help the Silverhawks win a state basketball title. So in the final 6 minutes we have here before we take a break and send it back to Pinnacle Bank Arena, let's set the table for tonight. Obviously, if you're watching college basketball across the world, there's a lot of really good basketball games going on right now. The Big Ten tournament semifinals going on. Purdue is playing UCLA. But if you're listening right now, you can get 3 high school basketball championships over to the airwaves for the next couple of hours. Starting coming up next with the C2 game. We'll preview that one in a bit. But also tonight with Class B and Class D1 to wrap up our action here on 93.7 The Ticket. So coming up in a matter of moments, we're going to send it out to Pinnacle Bank Arena for the Class C2 state title. Number 2, Bergen. Bergen defeating Pender in the first round, 71-43, and then knocking off Freeman in a rematch from last year's first round. In the 2-6 matchup, Bergen is now 27-1. They are taking on Norfolk Catholic. Norfolk Catholic was the 5 seed. They defeated North Bend Central in the first round, 41-34, and then knocked off number 1 UTAN in C1 or C2, 49-47 to push Norfolk Catholic into a matchup against Bergen Catholic. That is coming up momentarily. Coming up after that one, Scotts Bluff. Their bus has been across the street. They've been staying across the street from our studios here at 1040 O Street. They are the bus has left. They are on their way to Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's not a very long drive from our studios, but it is a drive. Scotts Bluff, the 3 seed, defeating Gretna East in the first round, and then Scott beating Norris last night. And Norris had a ferocious comeback but falls short. As Scotts Bluff back in the state title game for his second consecutive year. Scotts Bluff last year played Scott Catholic, but lost in that game. But Nate Kelly and the Bearcats looking for a state title to cap off their 2025-2026 campaign. On the other side of the bracket, Elkhorn North defeated Wahoo in the first round, 66-39, and then the Wolves knocked off the 3-time defending champions in the Scott Catholic Skyhawks in a thriller last night in Class B. 2 really good games last night at PBA in the Class B ranks. So that sets the table for 23-4 Scotts Bluff. The Bearcats taking on the Wolves of Elkhorn North, who enter with a 19-5 record. That game starting after the C2 game around 6:15 tip. To cap off the NSA Boys Basketball State Tournament in 2026 will be the Class D1 tournament. Number 1, Howells Dodge. They defeated Fullerton in the quarterfinals, then Elm Creek in the semis to push their record to 25-3. Howells Dodge, the number 1 seed, will take on the 6th seed, McCool Junction, who had a little bit of a Cinderella run of a sorts. You have them. They were 19-6 entering tournament play, and they defeated 1-loss East Butler in the 3-6 matchup by a score of 55-50 on Thursday night at Bob Devaney. McCool Junction then played last night in the late game at Bob Devaney and defeated Lutheran High Northeast in the 2-6 matchup. So McCool Junction will play their first game at at Pinnacle Bank Arena after playing 2 games at the Bob Devaney Sports Center over the past couple of days. So that sets the table for tonight's games. It should be interesting as those two are capping off the night. We had some history so far. We saw Archangels Catholic winning that one. Ashland Greenwood standing on top of Class C1 still. They continue to. Cale Jacobson, maybe he watched the game, maybe he didn't. I don't know. He's probably coming back from Chicago or whatnot and preparing for an NCAA tournament game. But Lincoln Southwest gets it done. First state title for a LPS school in Class A since Lincoln High in 2003. And then the first time since the Omaha Metro School hasn't won it since 2017. So it's been a while, but they got it done. But hey, March rolls on. We got 3 more games on tap, as mentioned here, coming in a matter of moments from Pinnacle Bank Arena. So before we get out of here, one more time, coming up next, number 2, Bergen Catholic, number 5, Norfolk Catholic. After that, the Class B title, number 3, Scotts Bluff, number 4, Elkhorn North. And to cap off our state basketball coverage here on 93.17 The Ticket and theticketfm.com, number 6, McCool Junction against number 1, Howells Dodge. So we're going to send it out to Pinnacle Bank Arena as Austin Orman and Tristan Gomez are on the call for the next 3 games right here on 93.17 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Pinnacle Bank, Bergen Catholic, Norfolk Catholic, Class C2 title. Coming up next on the other side.